So students, in first video we saw the expression of work done, its definition, its concept and various types of its condition, that is positive work done, negative work done. Here we will discuss about its unit and then work done by constant force and variable force. So let's discuss about it unit. We all know that work done is equal to force into displacement. Here there is no expression of theta because here we are not discussing about an exceptional case. That is the general case. That is when force and displacement takes place in the same direction. That is work done is equal to force into displacement takes place in along a straight line. So in SI unit we all know that the unit of force is Newton and that of displacement is meter. So that's why it is called Newton meter. And in case of work done, this Newton meter is called joule. But here I will pause and I will say that is this Newton meter is very much familiar, isn't it? We have seen it anywhere, somewhere, isn't it? Where in the first chapter, that is in case of moment of force, that is turning effect, torque or moment of couple. The unit of moment of couple, moment of torque, moment of force and torque is same, that is Newton meter. But that is up to Newton meter. It is not given any particular name because this is also Newton meter and the moment of force or couple is also Newton meter. But this up to this is same, but in case of work done it is called joule. Here it is given a specific name, that is joule. But the moment of force and torque is just finished up to Newton meter. Why? Because these are two different type of quantities. Work done is a scalar quantity, whereas moment of force, torque or moment of couple is a vector quantity. So there should have been some difference. So due to establish this difference, the work done has been given this name. The nomenclature is done joule and it is kept Newton meter. These two are not same thing. Though they are though they are step by step unit is same, Newton meter. But joule is only applicable in case of work done also. Since work done is a scalar quantity, it doesn't need any specific direction to express it. Whereas moment of force is a vector quantity and its direction we all know along the direction of axis of rotation. Okay. So minded, Newton meter in case of work done and moment of couple or moment of force is not the same thing. Two are different thing. Okay. Now in CGS system, the unit of force is dyne, that of displacement is centimeter. It is called arc. Clear? So how can you define 1 joule or 1 arc? So very easy. It means if 1 Newton force is applied on a body and it displaces that body in 1 meter. Okay. At 1 meter, that force, that work done is called 1 joule. It means if a body displaces 1 meter under the action of a force of 1 meter, then the work done by the body is called 1 joule. Then the work done is called 1 joule. In case of arc, if one dyne of force by acting on a body makes a displacement of 1 centimeter, that is called 1 arc. Very clear, very easy. Now we will just establish the relation in between this SI and CGS unit of work done. Very important question. Most of the times is generally it comes in the exam. Let's see. So 1 joule equals to 1 Newton into 1 meter. We all know that 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. And 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So 10 to the power 5 into 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 7 dyne centimeter. We have already got, that is dyne centimeter equals to arc. So 10 to the power 7 arc. Now how 1 Newton equals to 10 to the power 5 dyne? Though I know that, and you already know, but I feel, I need to drive it. So 1 Newton, we already know that Newton is equal to kg meter per second square. It means the force which acting on a body of mass 1 kg produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square, or change the velocity of 1 meter per second, that force is called 1 Newton. So 1 kg, if we convert into CGS, 1 kg equals to 1000 gram, then meter is equal to 100 centimeter, second square is same. So 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 2 equals to 10 to the power 5 grams per second square. If kg meter per second square is 1 Newton, then grams per second square equals to dyne. It means a force which acting on a body of mass 1 gram produces an acceleration of 1 cm per second square is called 1 dyne. So 10 to the power 5 dyne. So that's why 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. So we have got 1 joule equals to 10 to the power 7 arc. If the question carries only 1 mark, that is what is the relation between CGS and SI unit of work done? You will have to write only this, that is 1 joule is equal to 10 to the power 7. But if the marks of the question, if the question carries 2 marks, then you will have to derive it, because there is a very famous motto in Bengali, that is Jamon Pujo Temon Dokkhina. Okay, just like that. So now we will see the work done. One is by the force of gravity, against the force of gravity. We have already known about the work done by the force and work done against the force. So work done by the force of gravity. Second example. So by the force of gravity means when the force, gravity means the attraction, the force of attraction of the earth on any body. It helps the body to come towards itself. So W is equal to F into S. So in both expression is mgh. What does, from where mgh comes from? We all know that F into S in case of linear motion. But it is not mandatory that the work done will always takes place in the linear, okay, along straight line. A body always, every body, all body, okay, every particle will just suffer displacement along straight line. It may takes place along vertical height also. It means when we lift, if we throw any object, so in that case force is its weight which acts in the downward direction, and h is the height. It's the vertical displacement, isn't it? So mgh. So work done by the force of gravity means when a body, in case of free fall body, when a body feels towards the gravity. So here force is acting in the downward direction towards gravity. Height is also, suppose the height is h, at the vertical distance h, it also acts in the downward direction. So since two are in the same direction, it is, the body is displacing towards the gravity. So it is mgh. It is obviously plus. So that's why it is called work done by the force of gravity. You have already known by the force. Against the force of gravity means the opposite. If we lift any object against gravity at a vertical height, if we throw any object, in that case mgh. But here a minus sign is, okay, important. Why? Because minus sign indicates that in the previous case it was moving in the downward direction towards gravity, but here it is against the gravity. So against the gravity. So to indicate the against the gravity, minus sign is, okay, minus sign is inserted here. So this minus indicates the against. Okay. Now you cannot write, if you write minus, then you will say you cannot write minus against the force. No, you cannot write. It is just like by putting a minus sign and again you are saying that the retardation. Minus means minus, when you write by words you will have to write retardation. It is just like give me double honey, give me double honey madhu, just like that. Okay, अपन तो bad luck ही खराब है. Bad luck means bad. Okay, so just like that. You cannot use two things simultaneously, either minus or against the gravity. Clear? So now, so this is the expression of work done by the gravity and against the gravity. Okay. In this case, work is done on the body, and in this case, the force of gravity. In this case, work is done on the body, isn't it? Because here the body don't have to do anything. It is automatically free fall, just sitting with an ease and automatically falls in the down direction. But when against the gravity, the work done, here the work done by the body, isn't it? And the body has to do some work because it is fighting with the gravity, and overcoming that, it is attain some height, vertical height. Okay, so that's all. So now, so far we have discussed about the work done by the force. So there are two types of force. Okay, one force is called constant force and one is variable force. Constant, you have already know. Constant means which doesn't change with time. It is uniform. It means a force which is constant, uniform, unaltered, both in its magnitude and direction. That force is called constant force. Okay. And the force, variable force, means a force which varies with time, either change in its magnitude or direction, since it's a vector quantity, or both. So that is called a variable force. Now what are the constant force? Now generally in our daily life, generally most of the forces, some 50% forces are variable forces, 50% forces are constant forces. Generally when we push or pull anything, we pull the chair, generally the magnitude of the force doesn't change. It is not possible. If we push a chair throughout the work done, the force is constant. If it is 10 Newton, isn't it? When we pull anything, isn't it? When we take a glass of water, a bottle, a school bag, when we generally pull when entering any shop, we generally push or pull the door. All this force, because it acts for a very small period of time. So the force is going to be constant. It doesn't change. Okay. But force varies. It means when a rocket, generally when a rocket enters into space, when it gradually moves in the upward direction, its force changes. Isn't it? Its force varies, increases. Perfect example is that when a train leaves a platform, isn't it? Slowly and gradually force increases. Again, when it enters a platform, its force decreases, isn't it? The force acting on a compressed and a stretched spring, isn't it? When we compress a force, isn't it? When we compress a spring, the force is variable. Generally, when if a load is suspended at one end of a spring, isn't it? Due to the load, okay, it is generally extended. So the force as it will extend, it means as its displacement increases, force also increases. So here the force are not constant. So these are called variable forces. If someone rides any vehicle or bike in a crowded market, isn't it? So he has to with the frequently you will have to increase or decrease the speed. It means you have to increase the force, decrease your force depending on the situation. So these forces are not constant. When he moves with a constant velocity in an empty road or in national highway, that can be considered as a constant force. But in a crowded place, he has to taking U-turn, left turn, right turn, and force cannot be constant because it rapidly changes in magnitude and in direction. So these are called variable force. So in this case, so now we will discuss how to calculate the work done in these two cases. So let's take about the work done by constant force. Okay. Now here x-axis and y-axis. Here displacement. Here the displacement is plotted against along x-axis and the force is acting along y-axis. Clear? Now since force is constant, it means force is not going to be changed. Now suppose displacement here in meter may be centimeter. So equal interval 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. So as the body will suffer displacement, but force is constant as I said in case of pushing and pulling in our daily life, isn't it? Some of the elementary works we do in our life, that is pushing, I have already mentioned. So suppose force is 10 Newton. So this is not going to be changed. When the body suffers a displacement of 1 centimeter, force is 10, 2 centimeters still. So then it will be a straight line. Here AB is a straight line, you can see parallel to the x-axis, that is to the displacement axis. Now suppose the body is stopped at C. So now how much area it covers? You can see it covers the rectangle OABC. So this will indicate the mark. Okay. So this OABC indicates the total work done. What is this? How can you find it? By its area, total area. So area of this triangle will express the work done by the constant force. And you all know that the area of a rectangle is height into, isn't it? Height into length into width. So OA into OC is F into S. So that's why W is equal to Fs. We got. But the question is, if the force varies in those examples that I mentioned, by rocket, in case of car moving in a crowded market, all this, what will happen? And in this case, you can see force is not constant. This indicates force is increasing. Okay. Suppose a train is leaving a platform, a rocket is moving in the upward direction. So in this case, you can see this is the vertical axis represents force. This straight line, you can see with the rise of the displacement, force is also increasing. So it can be considered as a variable force. Clear? Taking place along a straight line. Here in this case, the displacement takes place in a straight line, isn't it? Straight line, rocket or train, assume. So force is gradually increasing with time. It means its magnitude. Here its magnitude is changing, but direction is not changing. Okay. Since magnitude is changing, so it can be considered as a variable because force is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means magnitude plus direction. Any one is changing any quantity will resultantly change in its resultant. So it is increasing. So in this case, how to find out the work done? So here suppose it is stopped. Okay. So this triangle, so the area covered by the triangle. Here the area covered by the straight line and the x-axis indicated the express the work done. Here the area covered by the triangle OBC represents the work done by the variable force. So you can see this is the triangle, and if we complete a rectangle, since this is the diagonal, so it is the half of, isn't it? The both triangle makes the entire rectangle. So here the area of the triangle will represent or express the work done. So here it is, since the triangle is half of the area of the rectangle, so it is half into OC into OB, that is half base into height. We all know that half base into F, this is F, so F is by 2. So in this case the work done by the variable force will be half of the work done in case of constant force. But again third condition, okay, there is another condition. Here we have seen that the force is acting along straight line, but it is not mandatory that in our daily life that all object, okay, travels in the straight line. It may take in a curved path, right turn, left turn, so this may happen. So in that case, how will we find out the work done? Very easy. This is the variable force. It is changing its magnitude as well as its direction. So what will happen in that case? So in that case, we will just divide the entire path of the journey by small stripe. You can see small stripe. Okay. Then for each small stripe, we will find out different work done. That is W1 for very small stripe. Now this is in class 11. Okay. This is not in detail. This is okay. Now this condition is not included in class 10, but I think since the contest arises, so that's why I felt it worth to discuss. I need to discuss it. So at first, for a very small stripe. So for a very small stripe, first portion you can see for a very small curve, we can say it is a straight line. A force can be a straight line, isn't it? A force can be considered as a very small. It is just like to measure the length of a curve. Okay, a curved line. Because if there is a curved line or a curved part or curved figure, we cannot measure the length of it by using meter scale. In that case, we need to take a string or thread, then we will just superimpose on it, place over it, then taking out it, we will just measure the total length. It's small stripe, so it's very small portion force we can consider. Suppose you are moving a very small distance, 1 meter. As I already mentioned, in case of constant force, when we are doing any work for a very small period of time, force is constant. Because when a body displaces, isn't it? In a crowded market, when a car is moving up to a half kilometer, then its force cannot be constant, it varies. But when the car moves in 1 inch, for the very small, force can be considered as a constant, isn't it? Because for the very small amount of displacement, force is not going to be changed. Overall, when we will take the overall displacement, then the force is going to be changed, isn't it? When a train just leave the train, for a very small fraction, force is constant. So that's why you have taken force. So for small stripe, force is F1 and delta S1 means a small displacement, change in displacement. For second stripe, again W2, F2 into, because forces are different. Though for a particular portion force is constant, but resultantly for each stripe force is changing, because that's why the force is called variable. If for entire path the force is going to be same, then it cannot be variable force. For each particular stripe, the force is, for that particular stripe or particular journey, force is constant. It means it may be a straight line. But for next stripe, force is changed. Force will be changed. So that's why F1, F2 is there. For second path of journey, it is delta S2. So that is W1, W2, W3, all these. Then resultantly, we will just add all this work done. As I said, to measure the length of a curved straight of a curved line or a curved aluminium sheet, we will just place a thread over it. Then we will just place on it, okay, on a meter scale. Then we can easily find out the length. So in this way, we can find out the work done by variable force. Clear?